Good day and welcome back to Elementary 72 Gaming. Now, today I'm actually starting a brand new adventure in Planet Crafter. I know I've been away for quite a while, and here's the whole story. Number one, I actually had um, a major problem with my OPC. Um, the the CPU actually cracked. It overheated to the point that it actually burnt out. Game mode, I'll play in standard. I'm going to go with no consequence on game mode standard. Right, I'll just go with standard. Now, here's the whole thing. I'm going to be playing this one here as a fresh start again because previously all of these servers are now crazy. That's because I haven't actually been able to change much with them, and for lack of a better word, it's become very lame.
Emergency. Correct your trajectory. Imminent impact. Imminent impact.
Okay, so Planet Crafter is one of the games that I really do enjoy a lot, right? First thing, let's see what it says. Green mission, right? That's no problem. Easy enough to handle. First thing I want to do is get Till at that point. Now, I'm going to intentionally kill myself quite a bit. I know not to set up a camp here. Now, just because I know doesn't mean that I'm going to be good at it. Yeah, I have a very lumberjack stash. This planet, I think, is easier than Planet Humble because Planet Humble has a lot more complexity with it. And in regards to that, there you'll notice it as I go along, obviously. Okay, let's get back into the little hub. Now, obviously, this is coming from somebody who's played before. I know that some of the locations have changed. The reason for the changes were pretty simple. To me, at least, it was self-explanatory. Oh, I don't have any now. There's a deconstruction chip. Two magnesiums. The reason why I'm not going to worry about that so much is cylinder and magnesium. Magnesium shouldn't be that hard to come by. Oh, I don't have rockets. I played the game obviously before I started this off. I actually decided to go to Planet Humble. I didn't complete Planet Humble, but I set up a fair start on Planet Humble. So yeah, I do have quite the start over there. Now with that, I now have a longer walk path outside. So that's 1, 2. Let me just double check. Yeah, I can only put one more thing on. I don't need the torch yet, so I'll go construction. 2 silicone, 2 magnesium. This is kind of the thing with this game. It can be very slow, it can be very irritating, and I'm going to actually be doing this here in what I would consider a fast mode. And you might consider it not so fast because even in a fast mode, this is going to take about 20 hours. The possibility of me beating the 20-hour mark is there because I know where all of the big catches are and where to start pulling really special items from. Okay, so all of the main items are in. This isn't important. Now what do I need? I need 2 oxygen at least for the next stage. So I'm going to start gathering up. So first thing to do is to go out and gather the right resources. So yes, I need to get some cobalt, and then on top of that I'm going to need a ton of iron, a ton of titanium. But I'm going to need a lot of iron in the start. You'll see why in a second. I'm not really that stressed about where I am on the map nor any of the difficulties that it's going to give me at the moment. That's because, to be honest, right now it is pretty simple. All I've got to do is create a base location and then start. Oh, did I actually get lost? No, can't be. Oh, I did get lost. Oh, I'm gonna die in the start. I know that's where I want to head. Oh, there it is. They moved it closer. Oh, okay. That was a revelation. I'm actually gonna die right in the start. Yes, I am. Oh no, I'm not. Wow, that's also a good shot. So let's see, one more. Right, so go to oxygen. So here's the whole idea. I'm going to fill this entire thing up with iron and 2 oxygen, and then I am going to go and start building foundations. Should also save. I don't have enough space to do all of it at once. Now there's a simple reason why I'm going at it with the high iron, and then I'm going to go for the next step and the next step thereafter. Simply put, right now for the start, just getting to the next spot is more important, because this spot is going to get flooded during the water terraformation event. Three more iron. That's not enough for me to complete what I need for my starter, but it will be able to help me with what I need in a moment. I always set up on this hill. The reason is quite simple. It's one of the better locations. It's next to one of the starter ships, so yeah, it's definitely going to improve the standard. Here it is. Starting area 1. Plus I'm right across the aluminium, so now everything becomes so much simpler. Oh, I can't do that. Forgot about that. This is going to be 4 across. I can make it 5 across just for convenience. No, this one here is wrong. The whole idea behind this base section is pretty simple. You start off with your outer and you improve it with a base on top of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, one more. Now obviously I'm gonna need to put on stairs on this, which I didn't consider. So I'll go on the front, I'll put on a staircase that'll be on the middle. 1, 2, 3. Makes it a lot better. Even with how this is right now, I can actually start my base here. So that's going to be 2 iron, 1 titanium. Silicone. There has to be a silicone around here somewhere. kidding me? Even if it has low power, I've already started my base, then I can start with putting up some simple structures. It's always the way that I go about it. But yeah, I'm in the wrong spot. So let's recoup for a second and let's break things down. Good. And we get up on top. And there we go. And once again I have to go with reset. And that's how you get things. Oh. I'm really getting tired of resetting it, so let's just go in. Okay, so this is up. Next thing is to set up the interior crafting station, silicon and iron. Now you might be wondering why I'm going with all these simple things right in the start. That's because it's going to become more important as you go along to get everything here. And silicon. There's a whole lot of food on the other side, and obviously that would do a lot better for me in the next bit. Also, just going to take one ice block. No problem. Okay, let's complete the iron block for the outside. Once I have enough up on the outer structure, I can start putting up power structures, then everything changes quickly. Let's see, where can I put up the power right now? Wind turbines. Oh, power was that low. So I'll just put up one of these. This should restore the power. For now, I'm just going to put it here. Now, in case anybody wants to know what's the reason for such a big base stand, that's because I'm actually going to put quite a bit of farms next to this property for my startup. So I always build 3 plots on the map. The first is my staying base, so this is it, and it's going to have a proper construction for the base floor, which is going to be where my food growers are initially. Then it's going to be second floor heaters, and it'll keep moving on like that, so it will be simple movements up till it's done. I know that out there is something else for me to go and gather, and I don't know why they moved it so far forward, because it used to be right in the back there. Let's see what's inside this. Start the case. I'll take this. That I can't use as yet, but I'll be able to use it soon. And let's run back up. Oh wait, let's run to this. Key resource changes. It happens all the time. Okay, so here we go. Time to get back in. And then it's time to finish up this section. As you can see, I'm going to be very reliant on my jetpack for most of the construction, and obviously I just have some power right now. I don't have any terraformation in play, so I'm not really progressing as yet. This is just base setup. Kind of foolish, to be honest. Alright, that's fantastic. Now I can just go and get some titanium. Perfect, both sides have sides that I want to the side, and I'm out of all resources internally again. Now it's time to see what else I want to put up. It's going to be a little bit heavy. This here only produces 1.2. I'm going to need a lot more before I can even put up this first few. I got the T2 crafter, I got that. I need to maybe put in another one staircase to allow me to go around. It'll be temporary. This is more permanent. That is unnecessary. That is going to be necessary in the start. So yeah, once you have your base set up, everything is much easier, because if your base is big enough and you have enough space set up and you've taken into consideration all of the extra pieces to your base, then you can do a lot of crazy things in the start, similar to what I'm going to do in a few. Yeah, here we go. I believe behind me that they should be open. Yeah, that's iridium rich area. So because I know this map, it's going to speed up resource gathering. I'm going to be able to get ahead where most people won't be able to get ahead, and that's going to be just for those who are beginners, who are doing the rough start, because you always get that person who wants to do the quick start and he'll go and learn what the game has in it, and then at the end of the day they'll complain the game isn't that challenging. And it's quite simple. You've given it no challenge, you've made the game no challenge, because you've put in all of the easy, you've put in some homework into it, and you've made the game a no-brainer. So obviously you're going to get a lot less difficulty. I don't really mind dying in this initial phases, even though you'll see me running back to keep my oxygen up or getting water every once in a while. The reason behind it is quite simple. Right now, as it stands in the start, a death doesn't really cancel out too much in terms of your progress. See, how many do I have on me? 2. It's not enough to really move anything forward. 3. This here is where things get a bit complex, because once you start expanding out, you'll see that well, things get a lot simpler. Once I pass a certain stage, it's just about getting my power to the right level so that I can expand, and you'll see that I'll do it quite quickly. There is the limit. So one of the first things that I have to admit about this place is, if you decide to just go on a escapade of running around and pushing up as much power supply as possible, and then pushing up a ton of pressure and then a ton of well, what would follow pressure? Heat. You're going to get somewhere. I won't lie, but you're going to always run into the same cycle all the time. You're gonna go 1, 2, 3, then you're gonna get stuck. 1, 2, 3, stuck. And the reason behind it is quite simple. Even though this initial phase is quite quick and easy, it's also quite difficult to keep things balanced. And you'll understand what I mean in a minute or two, because right now you can see I have an open space. So here's the buildings that we have for the start. Vegetation tubes, this is going to increase our oxygen flow. This is going to increase the pressure, and this is going to increase the heat. Now, heat takes up one whole unit. This here puts 1.2. So if I am going to have 30 of these, I'm going to need 30 windmills. And I'm going to have 0.2 times 30, that's going to give me 6. These take 0.5. If I'm going to put 30, that means I'm going to need 15. So 15 plus 30, 45. And this is 0.35. So 30 of those will be 7 times 15. 7 times 15. It's going to be just over 56, 57. Somewhere in that range, just for these 3 items. So just looking at that, I can put up 60 windmills. It's not going to hurt me, and if I put it up, then I can start wandering around and start grabbing things from a much wider distance, because as those things start to click up and the terraformation targets start clicking off, I can start doing more of the small things. So yeah, that's just the general status. As you can see, I'm back on an iron run. It's just iron in this first stage. Once the energy reaches a certain point and you're actually generating enough, then it becomes a little bit easier, because you don't need that much of iron. You need a lot of the other resources, and then you get the automations coming in. And automation is something that I'm really looking forward to. Sorry about that. I did intentionally run this way. Oxygen becomes a little bit more important later down the line, when you start having problems with exploring. So for example, if I want to get ahead quickly, I can get a hold of like about 5 or 6 critical pieces of tech right now, but they aren't going to be so useful to me, because I still need to go behind here and I need to have proper levels. I'm actually going to go hide inside. These meteor storms, although they are beneficial, they are also wrecking ball. Oh, still not done. This entire valley is going to turn into a massive what should I say? It's going to become one massive thing that I create in a little bit, so you'll see what I mean when it comes to it. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to go ahead and actually show you anything that's going to happen, but yeah, that valley is going to become a critical piece of infrastructure for me. That is odd. That's 6. So yeah, now I could actually even start with some of the constructions. For example, this, I've got 6 of those, so that's 7.2, right? If I'm thinking about it against this here, that means I can put up 7, I can put up 14. Yeah, I can put up 14 of these pressure generators. Not really where I want to be. I want to be a little bit higher on the pressure. The reason is pretty simple. If I just go with the simplest level of pressure, I'm going to be the one under pressure. For lack of good humor, I think that's going to be the best way to say it. Yeah, I like to ramble on when I play like this. Yeah, it's pretty fun, especially when you're having a nice adventure. Oh, these are from the asteroid collision. which is where I was wrong. That wasn't 7.2. That was 8.4. 9.6. 10.8. 12. 12.2. 13.14.4. And now I change my whole pursuit. Now I'm going to start going after the first batch of drills. So drills are going to be a lot more expensive. I haven't yet put up anything inside. You can see that that's because I've decided to hold off the internal renovations until I'm 100% ready. So here goes some titanium. It's 1 titanium, 1 iron. 1 titanium, 1 iron. In the start, this year will go right next to my base, and then in the end I'll actually end up moving all this far away from me because they make a lot of noise. They are big ruckus in their bigger forms. One more. My terraforming index is at 0. Just watch it jump in a minute. So I'm going to be doing this here on a repetitive scale, obviously. So for the first round, as you can see, I'm just going to build a ton of these. It's going to instantly start pushing me through objectives at a rapid rate. These are important later on, but not right away. Titanium is going to become as rare as iron. And then titanium and iron are going to become so commonplace that I'm just going to be dumping them. It's kind of ironic because I already know it's coming ahead of time. Go back up the mountain, setting up 8 drills. It's going to knock out a fair amount of power, and then it's just going to be the next set of power, next set of drills. No. The next set is going to be the next item I put up, and obviously vegetation tubes are a little bit more difficult because right now obviously I can't generate there's it, it's already starting to tick, and it's just going to start moving like crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's perfect. How quick was that one? So yeah, this is the beauty of things. Once you start on the right track, you get these unlocks and they just start flying in because they're not going to wait for anything, to be honest. They're just going to be there the moment you need them. I got a lot more used to having automated services for myself. So yeah, this is a little bit more grindy than I'm used to. One more titanium. And then it's all about the iron. There are other places I can go right now to get the iron, but just because of the convenience of these two areas, which I know are gonna respawn like crazy as I keep pulling the resources out, I'm not really leaving them, because if I go over the horizon a little bit, I can get to the other ship, and with everything that it has in it, even at this beginning stage, I'd actually benefit quite a bit. I'm just going to check up on what that oxygen tank T2 requires. Because if the T2 requirement is simple, I'm just going to go for it. Oh, interesting. Two magnesium, one silicon, one cobalt. Okay, let me put up these drills. After that, I'll go looking for it. That's also another mess of improvement that just came through. So the start is now going to be up to 16. You can see that they are climbing quite slowly, but it's going to get a lot faster, obviously, as I improve myself. So let's see what does the backpack do. This is also pretty simple. Yes, I'm just going to get these two. And this is also very simple and very important. I didn't notice that unlock. Sometimes you can get caught up with what you're developing. So as you can see, I'm keeping it in rows of 5. That means I'll know once my 6th row is complete that everything is in. This one's simple, but the moment the upgrade comes in, it's going to become a lot more difficult to manage the count. One more. So yeah, just past the halfway mark, and looking at that terraformation, it's flying. more than 1 per second. That's what I want it to be at. Oh yeah, now I just need to double check what I want for the first one. Titanium, silicon, magnesium. I do require iron, I do require titanium. First thing to do, let's drop it in, and now let's see what I'm going to show. I made a mistake, didn't I? This is one of the worst things. Silicon, cobalt, titanium, magnesium. Iron, silicon, titanium. Let's go. Iron, silicon, titanium. Backpack T2, let's go. Silicon and titanium. You might be wondering why I just stopped when I saw that reading. That's because I'm trying to figure out whether I should go with the upgrade on the power supply before I move forward, or whether I should move on to the next piece before upgrading again. And I'm going to go with the upgrade for the power, because that's going to help me moving forward. I'm just under halfway done with the pressure. It means that it's going to be easier for me later down the line. And this is going to make it even easier. There we go. So yeah, now I can carry 4 by 5, it's 20 items. So yeah, it's a big improvement, but it's not big enough. Let's see what that upgrade is like. This is a much better improvement, to be honest. I could reduce how many I'm putting in. For 5 of these, I'll be able to make 1. So yeah, that will reduce it to 6 at this stage. It will increase for the next. 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 15. Nine, 13, 14. 14 times 1.2. 16 point. Oh, so I could only put 3 of these. Okay, time for some storage. One is equal to 10. So 3 is equal to 30. Yeah, my mistake. Also generates heat. That's what's making things so much better for me. Okay, right now I get why I'm off on my own calculation. Sometimes you do that there no matter how good you are at maths. Okay, so let's put this all in. Now let me go and improve my energy supply. So 2 cobalt and a silicon to each of them. Yeah, I forgot I upgraded my oxygen tanks. I haven't finished off all the upgrades required internally. Can only do 3 upgrades now, so let's just remove these. Woohoo! First part of this. Oh yeah, 2 level critical. Not really care about it. I'm gonna let this one kill me for real. Well, that's what it's like to play for an hour in this. But anyway, let's go for another 3. 1, 3. it wasn't going to make a difference to much of it right now because I'm doing a direct one-to-one upgrade. The beauty of it. Upgrades upon upgrades. Well, there is that chest down here with food in it, so I'm thinking about going to it quickly and emptying whatever I can get from inside there. I do need silicone, I do need cobalt. So one of the big tricks with completing Planet Crafter really quick is knowing what you're after in terms of these targets. If you can get your power set in the right range before you go after any of these chasers like me, you can end up with much better settings than this. For example, you saw that I just got another upgrade capability for my backpack, right? You can end up 2 or 3 levels higher than that without much effort. I ate food. The reason why I don't want to eat food really is because there's 2 ships. One is inside those mountains behind here, and there's the one right here which is basically next to me. Going into them isn't that difficult, but in terms of oxygen and food, it's one of the worst drainers. And I don't like making a habit of jumping back and forth over something small. 4 for this one. I'm really improving my power grid. And this is like nothing because this power grid is still absolutely inefficient. It's not even going to hold up against the next phase of things that I have to bring in because I haven't yet even started with the heaters. And in order to get the heaters, I'm going to need to actually make a run across the desert. When I say across the desert, I mean there's a little part here in front. I'm going to have to run just to be able to pick up my iridium, and that is going to be one of the worst runs. I need 1 iron in this run in order to make sure that everything balances so I have a good count. You can see what I mean by resources become a bit harder to find. As you can see, iron has been really scarce in this past run up and down. Remember, I'm actually traveling a lot further, and even with that further distance, you can see that it isn't making enough of a difference to me. Two, three. A one shot in cobalt. Could I have missed that? What does the backpack T3? 2 aluminium, 1 titanium, 1 silicon. So because of my speedy T2s over here, I've actually pushed up my progress a little faster than I should have had it. I haven't started the other two progressions, which is kind of knocking me back a little bit, and you'll see why in a bit. Took an extra for 2 bottles of oxygen. Right, this makes it so much easier. 6.5 times 3. 6.5 times 4. That's no, that's 1, 5, 15. 6.5 times 15. Okay, that's quite a good haul for the start. Let's get a little bit in here. Try and one less, 2 less. Yeah, there's a shortcut. I thought they were the exact same. So a little bit takes up the space that the desk can fill in. Okay, nice to know. Iron, cobalt, silicon. Iron, silicon. Iron, silicon, magnesium. Okay, so I need a lot of iron, silicon, and magnesium at the moment. I don't actually need any titanium. Ironic. water doesn't stay such a big problem in the game. If any of you have played it, it actually becomes much easier as you go along. So this is the worst of the worst, and I'm actually going to call it now before I continue on. So I'll take a little intermission, and then after that I'll be back. So yeah, that was going to be quite the enjoyment. Right, pull this up. This tells me my terraformation stats. Oh, no more iron. In case you think that I'm being a bit tight with what I'm putting on the desk, no, I'm not. I'm actually being quite generous with the space. Fantastic. Now I don't have to do any mental calculations. Everything's become a lot simpler. Okay, that's it. Catch you all in the next session.